My parents forced me to become my dead twin and act as if I never existed, so I showed them just how alive I really am. My twin brother Theo and I were 17 when our intoxicated Uber driver swerved us into the wrong lane going 30 over the speed limit. They both died on impact, and I became cognitively impaired, as well as suffered nerve damage in my legs, losing the ability to walk properly. But that turned out to be the least of my issues. You see, it all started at the hospital. My parents looked at me with disgust, like I wasn't their son who just escaped death. I remember sitting hooked up to machines for 4 days, and they only came once to congratulate me for what I'd done. According to them, I called the Uber. I could have canceled on that driver. Theo's death was my fault. They wouldn't listen to anything else. They discharged me within 7 days, but that 7th day was extra strange. After treating me like a murderer the whole week, they suddenly came in all cheerful. I tried to question why, and their responses about being a happy family again creeped me out. I didn't understand what they were doing at first, but when I came home, everything made sense. My dad wheeled me into Theo's bedroom, where Mom was lining out Theo's old clothes and telling me this was a new beginning. Before I could even comprehend, I heard buzzing behind me. I turned around, but Dad grabbed my head and turned it back. "Stay still, Theo." He then proceeded to cut and gel my hair into the same middle part that Theo wore. I remember starting to cry. It didn't take more than 2 weeks for them to fully see me as Theo. They called me his name, asked me about how my Theo's friends were doing, even put up new family photos, cutting me out of existing ones and leaving only themselves and Theo in frame. All of that was bad, but then they did the unforgivable. They invited Theo's grieving girlfriend Amy over for dinner. She'd been with him for 3 years. They had planned to get married after graduation. At first, Amy thought it was super sweet of my parents. She thought they wanted to help her grieve, but when she saw me as being referred to Theo, she was more than just disturbed. She looked genuinely horrified. I saw her awkwardly speed-running her food so she could get out as soon as possible, but that's when my parents actually started trying to set us up. "Theo, go sit beside your girlfriend, it's rude not to." Amy's face went pale, and I swear I died from embarrassment. "Mom, I'm not the—" "Whatever you say, Theo, honey. Now go get Amy another glass of water, please." I looked at her baffled. Amy excused herself to the bathroom, and as soon as she was out of view, I heard her just bolt out of the house. I thought this was good. Maybe it would open my parents' eyes a little, but nope, it made them even worse. The next morning, Dad pulled me out of my wheelchair by force. I remember falling to the floor as he yelled at me, "Theo doesn't have leg problems. If you weren't in this stupid wheelchair, Amy would have stayed last night." I couldn't believe it. He was blaming me for her leaving. Even worse, Mom soon found my hidden stash of painkillers, and she flushed them down the toilet, telling me that her Theo was never a substance addict. I cried so hard I begged them to listen. I was grieving too, but they didn't. They left me alone on the floor, and then it happened. 10 minutes later, I heard, "Theo, honey, come downstairs. Breakfast is ready." That's what broke me. I officially gave up, and for the next few months, I was Theo. I wore his clothes. I answered to his name. I started drawing for fun like he used to. But then something happened. I got a message from Amy. She was asking if I was okay. She hadn't stopped thinking about that dinner in months, and said she couldn't help but feel I wasn't right. That awakened something. I responded and told her the truth, and very soon, she was asking me to meet up. We caught up at the park that night, and for the first time ever since it happened, I felt like myself. We talked about grief, about everything. She encouraged me to regain my identity again, to relearn guitar like I loved to. Before I knew it, I was dragging myself to the basement and found my old guitar. My hands were clumsy now, and my brain couldn't quite connect it, but it was something. On the 6-month anniversary, my parents left to inquire about legal name changes. Amy took the opportunity to come over, and we played guitar together and cried about the real Theo. But of course, things didn't go well. My parents came home early and found us together. But instead of being angry, Mom started gushing about how happy she was that Theo and